What's going on YouTube? This is Sager live, and we're coming at you from the big dog's house himself. And I don't mean the Undertaker because he's got that hip replacement shit. I am here live with the YouTube shoot pioneer, shoot style, Kent the Controversy Jones. And I am Don, the namer of all goat fuckers. How are you doing, brother?
That was gold. What's going on, Don?
Oh, I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great. I was doing stuff, but hey, you get a call, you gotta answer.
That's what you got. You got the call, and I demanded we do this show now because it's time that we get these.
Hey, if you get the call, whether it's a phone call, a booty call,
yeah,
your name being called, a telemarketer,
I hate those.
Goat fucker.
Goat fucker.
Hey, I'm gonna name all the goat fuckers today. I'm talking to you, Hassan Piker.
Name dropping, baby, like it's going out of style. All right, so
I apologize to all Jehovah Witnesses. I apologize for the language, but I'm sorry. I do not support that specific religious sect because they believe that all of us, we're all very heavily Christian valued, and they persecute us and are still blowing up our churches and punishing our people, our fellow.
I don't know what he's talking about.
All over the world, and my heart goes out to all of them, whether they're in Nigeria, whether they're in whether they're in the UK, whether they're in Europe, wherever. My heart goes out to them.
Can you rewind and tell me what you're talking about?
They're members of our flock.
Can you tell me what you're talking about right now?
I'm talking about the certain sect that follow the Quran, that want to kill all of us Christians.
Oh, yeah, Muslims.
No, we can't say that. That's Islamophobia.
We can say that. I know you're talking about Muslims.
Yes, but that's a religious thing, and apparently YouTube doesn't allow us to say that. But I can say what I do say about goat fuckers and following the Quran.
I'm gonna.
You can't say the M word. That's gonna get you a suspension.
Okay, I'm gonna take your advice on that.
Because that's a derogatory comment. I apologize, YouTube. That was not intended. Mr. Jones does not understand what he has said.
I understand getting suspended. I've been suspended many times.
So anyways,
maybe I should edit that out. Maybe I should edit that out.
Hang on, Kent. Hang on. This is for all of our brothers and sisters at the church, at Jehovah Witness. I am a Christian as well. I do have a foul mouth when it comes to things that I strongly fight against, and that is the Quran readers. They want us all dead.
Yeah.
It's literally in their Quran to murder us, and praise God, we don't want no part of them, and I do not support them in any shape, way, or form. They are anti-Christian and really want to murder all Christians, and they literally preach this while they're sitting on their mats praying.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's
I'm not kidding.
I know you're not kidding. It's sad. It's sad. Do you know what Jehovah? Do you know why we say Jehovah? Do you know why we say that? Do you know what we believe?
Why?
Because we believe that Jehovah is God's name, and God is the title, like President Trump is the name, and the title is president. God is the equivalent of president. So God is the title. The name is Jehovah. But that's why we say we're witnesses of Jehovah Witnesses. Does that make sense or not make sense?
Yes. And I actually have a really big topic for later. Not on this show. We'll do it later. This was a different show.
Okay.
But I want to put this out there on YouTube as future content, because I want all of the Jehovah Witnesses out there to actually approve this. I actually have some condensations in research, because I am a Christian, and I compared some passages in the Bible to some passages in the Quran. And I'm just going to say it. Allah is Lucifer. That is the theory. and I want to talk about this.
I'm here. So I'm listening. Well, this conversation just took a direction because I thought we were going to talk about my history on
We
YouTube.
are. I'm talking about future content. I'm letting all of our viewers and our good brothers and sisters at the Jehovah Witness
Kingdom Hall.
Kingdom Hall. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I don't know the names. I mean, I'm a Christian, but I'm not. I haven't denominated yet. Kent's steadily trying to get me to come over to Kingdom Hall, but it hasn't really. I haven't made that decision yet. I'm still a Christian, and I want to point out the philosophy of the Quran as opposed to some passages in the Bible. I'll have to I'll have to actually get the specific wording down from the Quran because I don't speak Arabic or read Arabic, but there are English versions of the Quran, and I want to make sure that I get the passages down. And I think this is something that the Kingdom Hall and the elder should actually approve.
Okay, so that brings me to this. I haven't talked to you about this off the air, but I know we're talking about you coming here and hanging out with me. And would you go to the Kingdom Hall with me? Because you know I go.
I absolutely would. I completely support you, and I support your journey through life, and I support your spiritual and religious enlightenment. So,
dude, that would just be a mark out moment. For those of you who don't know what can you explain to them what a mark out moment is?
It's when you're completely a fan of something and you completely just dive into it, head, heart, soul, and
it's a wrestling term. It's a wrestling term.
I wasn't going to explain it as a wrestling term because you can mark out for a comedian, you can mark out for a movie star.
Yeah, but it is a wrestling term. Anyways, Don the Bomb. Why do you have a problem with me saying that?
No, it is Don, the namer of goat fuckers.
Why do you have a problem with me saying Don the Bomb?
That is so old, and I haven't gone by that in years.
For years. So tell the people how long we've been friends.
Well, we were both born in '88, as far as I'm aware.
87. I was born in 87.
Oh yeah, because Kent's old and he needs a walking stick for himself. But me, being the younger and more handsome of the two, this, obviously, we're the same age, and I've known Kent since basically right out of high school, maybe even during. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's older than 20 years because 20 years is when I got on YouTube. 21 years is when I got on YouTube. But I have video evidence that says I was on YouTube 20 years ago. There's a video called Kent Jones is My Hero. You can look it up right now. Kent Jones. I'm not telling you to click away. Do not click away and go look at that video. Do not do that.
Absolutely pull up a second screen and go pull it up, though.
Pull up a second screen and Kent Jones is My Hero. A simple YouTube search of Kent Jones is My Hero. It's a video that'll come up, and it's actually a derogatory video towards me because at the end of it shows a bunch of my clips, but the video is over 11 years old, which proves the 19. I don't know why I said 11. The video is over 19 years old, which why it proves there's clips of me from clearly a lot of time has passed since they started taking these clips up. I had been on YouTube for a while, so it's easy to assume that I had been on YouTube a year prior to this. Clearly longer than that. I was on YouTube.
Kent is what I said, the pioneer of YouTube shoot style videos.
I was. There was no one before me.
Are a thing if you're a content creator or if you're aware.
The only person that talked about wrestling on YouTube that was a fan before me was CZW fan. He was the original, but he didn't. He didn't know what he was doing.
I can't say that you were the godfather of it all, but you are a pioneer of shoot style. Yes, CZW fan was the original. Giving him credit where it's due. You innovated and pioneered it.
I seen it. As soon as I seen the video, I knew what I wanted to do. As soon as I seen the CZW fan, I was like, I gotta make this. This is gonna make me rich. That's what I thought. As soon as I seen it, I said, this is gonna make me rich. But YouTube didn't pay money. I didn't know how it was gonna make me rich. I just knew it was gonna make me rich. Boy, was I.
Back then, the assumption was that if you were big enough on YouTube and you built a following, because this was before.
Then you could sell T-shirts and stuff like that elsewhere.
there was not a lot of social media at that point. MySpace was still a thing, and you weren't going to get big on MySpace. YouTube was the platform that was going to bring you into households everywhere. And if you got big enough and you got the attention of the companies, your idea was they were going to hire you as one of their spokespeople.
Yeah, there was no.
Kent's dream at the time was to eventually get hired by TNA and actually work for TNA.
Never want to do it now. Don't want to do it now. But keep
Nobody
going.
would want. No, fuck that. No, we wouldn't want to do that now. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to work for TNA.
No, it'd be a
Now,
horrible
if
job.
Scott Moore was still there, I would totally want to work for TNA.
Yeah, it's a horrible job. If TNA offered me one job, there's only one job I'd do: president of TNA Wrestling. If you're not offering me the president's position, don't call me, don't text me, don't send me anything. I would never work for TNA. I love TNA. Don't get me wrong. I love TNA Wrestling. But I would
He loves being a fan, though, and supports it and will heavily always support it. But he doesn't want to work for them.
Yeah.
Now, if they were willing to contract out as a third-party contractor and just pay him money to do, support the product, he would do that because you're paying him money to do what he does anyway.
Right. That's what they should. That's what they should do.
To be dedicated to your product, but that's different.
That's what they should do. That's what they should do.
But they're not going to, and so that's why.
Because I'll do it for free. Why would they? Why would they do it when I'll do it for free?
Because, again, like I said, he's the pioneer of YouTube shoot style videos. He's the original YouTube shooter.
So who was I? The question is who was I looking up to when I was in the early days of YouTube? Who do you think I was looking up to?
Chris Abbott.
No.
Oh wait, he was looking down at the dog. Okay.
They're not gonna get that joke unless you explain it to them.
Nobody's gonna. I'm not explaining it, and that's an inside joke. And if you know, you ain't gonna know unless you're Chris Abbott. And I wish the dude was around because
if Chris Abbott, if you're listening, leave a comment in the comments right now because we're right here. We're real. We are. Kent Jones is still doing what he does, and Don, my good friend, I want to call him Don the Bomb, but he don't like it. I can't.
Don, neighbor of goat fuckers.
I can't say that because I'm a Jehovah's Witness, so I can't say that.
Well, I'm not. I'm a Christian, and I'm non-denomination, and I don't support those guys at all. They're horrible people, and I really think that God should bring them their reckoning.
Yeah, well, we don't believe
I think we just need complete old school wrath brought down upon all of them. But whatever.
Yeah, well, and Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in the hell concept. They don't believe in people going to burn in hell. I don't want to talk about that too much. I don't want to get into it. But we don't believe in the whole people are going to burn forever. The bad people burn forever. We don't believe that. Unless you want to talk about it, then I'll talk about it.
No, I'm literally saying like I'm not even talking about that part. I mean that's a denominational difference, and it's good to be educated. So but again, I just want to see some old school divine wrath.
Divine, like Johnny Divine? No, I'm kidding.
No. Yeah, you know what? Give me a side of A1 with that.
A1, baby. I gotta explain these jokes. A1 and Divine were members of the original TNA wrestling group and Team Canada. We're talking about how old we are right now. This was
and the only two names and the three people that you'll know.
This is like 2004, y'all. We're talking about stuff that was going on in TNA in 2004.
And the other three members of that group, you might know one of them, EY, Eric Young.
Eric Young, Showtime. Eric Young.
The It Factor, Bobby Roode, and the Canadian Destroyer, Petey Williams.
Yeah.
Who was technically the leader of the group, or at least the main focus.
Yeah.
And then you had their manager, Scott D'Amore.
And why they never, when they brought in Christian, they never brought it back Team Canada and let Christian be the leader of the Team Canada, I'll never know. Such a missed ball. But TNA over the years has missed so many balls. Like
see, I never understood that because Christian literally was a part of Scott D'Amore's stuff back before he went to WWF. So I never understood that either. Like him and Rhino actually came up together in Canada. That was a real thing. Like that was history that you either knew or you didn't. They didn't dive into it too deeply, but they did. They just did it more off the TV show product. And if you weren't aware of what the stuff that they were sharing about their like history as friends, then you know you either knew or you didn't.
Yeah. This.
You had to be online to really get the full story. And honestly, that storyline really, I mean,
Which was okay because at one point TNA was on a streaming media player. You had to watch Impact when they left FSN and before they went to FSN, before they went to Spike. They were on a streaming media player. So you were.
well, when Christian came in, it was like it was '06, and they were already on Spike by then. But to get the full story for the two, you had to go like to their like you had to go online, and there was like a special thing that Christian had put up about their history together.
Yeah, you had to go. You ready for it? You had to go to TNAWrestlingNews.com. Did anybody ever go to TNAWrestlingNews.com?
I used to live there.
I used to live at TNAWrestlingNews.com.
I know you'd be like, "Hey, did you see this interview with James Storm about being a heel in the face?" And I'm like, and it's not really. It's
Do
not
you
really
know?
character. I'm
Do
like,
you know the people
dude,
that? You know the people that own TNAWrestlingNews.com are the same people that own WrestleZone, but they were millionaires because of TNAWrestlingNews.com. Millionaires. TNAWrestlingNews.com was the website. TNA Wrestling News.
The website. You could have seen Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin hanging out with college kids getting high all the time.
You could have seen anything on TNAWrestlingNews.com.
You could have seen Dick Pics of Ken Jones.
You could not have seen that.
Well, that was the OnlyFans section before OnlyFans was a thing.
Shut up. I am surprised that never surfaced on TNAWrestlingNews.com.
Hey, you don't know. It could have been hidden behind a paywall.
Could have been on a paywall.
You could have seen Jeff Jarrett. So you don't know.
I did see Jeff Jarrett.
Hey, at least you weren't there when he was throwing tacos at people.
Oh, man.
I don't know what he was thinking when he did that. Like, but I thought Jarrett was smarter than that.
So, let's talk. So, who did I follow on YouTube, bro? Who was I following? One of the big people.
Your biggest rival, Zach Mintz.
Yeah, we'll talk about Zach Mintz in a second. I loved Bo Burnham. Do you know who Bo Burnham was?
Nope.
See, and that's the thing. People didn't even know who I was following. They always say, "Oh, you must have been following Bill and Doug. You must have been." I never even thought twice about Bill and Doug. They thought that because
I met Kent through YouTube.
Yeah. Well, then we've only been friends for 20 years.
Good friend.
So we knew each other before that. Because if you met me through YouTube, I was only on YouTube for 20 years.
Sorry.
Anyways, Bo Burnham. Did you ever watch YouTube Live, the YouTube show called YouTube Live?
No.
It had all the original YouTubers on it, the big household name YouTubers.
Like Ken Jones.
Yeah, but I wasn't on there because I was too controversial.
No, you were just too opinionated. You had to follow. You weren't going to follow their script.
I would have never followed their script, and I was more arrogant and cocky than I ever am now. I was so
and Wilder
and a lot wilder.
You were uncontrollable. You were volatile.
Jumping off
by today's standards, you would have been labeled a Nazi.
But I jumped off a boat. That's all I'm gonna say is I jumped off a boat.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I jumped off a boat. I died. I died multiple times.
Kent Jones was very controversial, and the man was definitely entertaining. He was a YouTuber. He was an entertainer.
Yeah, I was an entertainer first, a YouTuber second.
No, that is a YouTubers are very entertainers. That's the point. Most people.
No, a lot of YouTubers are not entertaining. A lot of YouTubers are not entertaining.
You were on there to be. You were on there to entertain. You were ahead of the curve on that.
So, I hopped up on YouTube after watching the CZW fan rip into Ring of Honor, and I'm like, it makes no sense. Why is he doing this? Ring of Honor's kick ass. Why is he doing this? Because at the time, Ring of Honor was good. And that's crazy if you know my history. Because I would go on to hate Ring of Honor. But CZW versus Ring of Honor was the best feud in wrestling since the NWO. NWO was the best storyline of all.
Yeah, so CZW and Ring of Honor were the two big indies. They were.
Yeah. And they were.
That dynamic did not change for forever. COVID really ended that.
Yeah. And they were totally different audiences. They didn't have the same audience. So when they feuded with each,
the thing is, so I can give everybody else a little perspective. Like, do you mind if I do a little history lesson? Since we're going there, let's go back a little further.
Go.
Everybody knows the Attitude Era. Everybody, it was the biggest boom in wrestling, but bigger than the Hulk Hogan.
I think you're about to tell them about ECW and WCW and WWF.
Yeah, ECW, WWE, or WWF at the time, and WCW. Kent was a WCW guy. I was a WWF guy, but ECW was also a thing. Well, towards the end of the Monday Night Wars, towards the end of the Attitude Era, ECW was on TNN 01-ish. There was another wrestling promotion that came around. It was called XPW, which followed the ECW format. Well, in 01, when ECW finally closed, right at the end of 01 or early 02, when ECW went bankrupt, and Paul Heyman went mostly towards WWF.
Sellout! Paul Heyman was a sellout.
No, he was trying to save his face with him and the wrestlers because he couldn't pay him.
He's a sellout.
I'm doing shows in the board.
That's my controversial hot take, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can't help her right now.
I know. Luke's crying about movies, and she's crying.
Okay, well, you can go brush your teeth. So does she. Okay, so anyways, the history is XPW came about when ECW went down. A lot of the ECW people that weren't like with Heyman, that didn't sell out with Heyman and didn't go to WCW.
They went to XPW.
They went to XPW. And then when XPW went down, it gave birth to Combat Zone Wrestling, aka CZW, with taking the Japanese concept of death matches. Because nothing says long and healthy like mercury poisoning from all the fluorescent light tubes you were being bashed in the head with.
Violence to the Jehovah's Witnesses. If you think TNA or WWE is violent, you don't know nothing.
But this all came about in 01. ECW was going down, XPW popped up, CZW popped up. And honestly, XPW was the bigger of the two, and Ring of Honor didn't come around until the year. Ring of Honor was around, but they really didn't really get a good.
Till AJ Styles came there.
Yeah, AJ was in CZW, Kazarian, Petey Williams, Christopher Daniels, and listen, a lot of TNA's roster came from CZW. A lot of Ring of Honor's roster came from CZW. They all platformed off of CZW. XPW had a lot of people that came from ECW, but XPW had one person that was a big part of the early TNA, and you probably don't know him. He's not a big name or anything. His name is Ron the Truth Killings.
Pretty big name, if you ask me.
Second ever TNA World Champion.
Went on to the WWE and did it again.
The point is, because of ECW's fall, XPW, CZW came up, and by extension, a little later, Ring of Honor and TNA. Now, obviously, XPW did go out of business at some point.
Okay.
But they still existed. Now, hang on, I'm just saying, and with that, CZW, Ring of Honor, all of them, they survived. They kept going. And believe me, TNA and Ring of Honor robbed CZW.
Dude, there's so many topics we're going to have to talk about. We're going to have to split this up into different parts. But I'm going to jump to the next one I want to talk about. But we're going to have to do a series. This has got to be a series because we have so much history together. We got to just try to talk about things we never talked about before.
But I'm talking about the history of where we were at.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm sitting here thinking, what do I need to mention next? And I'm like, there's too much. There's just too much because we can go on one topic for days. So it's got to be a series.
But that's the history, man. Like Ring of Honor and CZW, and these two companies were at war for decades. Now Ring of Honor broke away from CZW because CZW's roster was gutted way more than Ring of Honor's roster got gutted. And we know TNA and mostly TNA was gutting the shit out of Ring of Honor.
Can we do this once a week? Can we do this once a week, or is that too often?
We can do a segment once a week.
Once a week, we're gonna do a show. I'm gonna call this Don. What are we gonna call this series? This is gonna be our bread and butter. I'm telling you.
History.
Don and Kent history lesson. Is that good?
Well, let's call it the Hall of History.
The Hall of History. The Kevin Hall edition? No, I'm kidding.
Yes, the Kevin Hall of History.
Kevin Hall history. That's what we'll call it. Kevin Hall history. Now we gotta explain why we call it who Kevin Hall is.
That's reserved for a later show.
That's reserved for a later show. We're gonna tell you who Kevin Hall is.
And the legacy of Kevin Hall.
The legacy, the legend, the myth, the aura that is Kevin Hall. Blog Talk Radio, for years we made jokes about Kevin Hall. We're gonna tell you all about it. That'll be our next one. How about that? Our next one, we're gonna talk about Kevin Hall.
Actually, I got a better name for the show.
Go ahead.
We're gonna call this little segment is gonna be called Blog Talk Origins.
I don't like that one. It's good.
You know what? I got a better one. TWL Origins.
For Talk Wrestling Live, that's what we used to call it, TWL.
Yep, TWL Origins.
But are we going to say Talk Wrestling Live, or are we going to go back to that name? I think we should. I think we should go back to Talk.
No. We can mention the name, but that's not the channel anymore. That's not that's a dead horse. So we'll bring it up. But I think just calling it TWL Origins and we can talk about blog talk radio, talk wrestling live, all
TWL Origins. Let me talk about this, because this one is going to be the one we can put in the title. We can put this in the title. It's going to get some
interview with talk live with Donald Trump. But
no, this is the one that's going to get heat with the internet.
Let's go. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Trump.
Listen to me. You're going to agree with me as soon as I tell you what we're going to talk about next. Let's talk about how freaking bad AEW sucks. They suck. They suck worse than WWE. They suck. Let's talk about it. Come on.
Secretly, I'm with Tony Khan. Yeah. I've been running the show the whole time. Yeah.
Can we talk about AEW?
Yeah.
Tony, how you doing over there, Tony? Tony Khan, what is on the air? What's going on, Tony?
We don't have Tony Khan. He's being a troll. But this is basically Tony Khan's response to every criticism.
I'm listening.
That's his response. Silence.
Oh, I get it now. I get it. So, Mr. Tony Khan, I'm talking to you, Tony. I want you to answer me. Jon Moxley beat up a cameraman and you came to his defense. Please explain to yourself how you came to his defense about beating up a cameraman.
I am the Almighty. Yeah.
Why did you support Jon Moxley beating up a cameraman? Why do you support a raging alcoholic, Tony Khan? Tony Khan, why do you support a raging alcoholic?
We don't have Tony Khan, people. He's being facetious.
Who would want Tony Khan? Didn't you just hear yourself? You just said he ignores every question. So it would do the same interview because we don't.
I literally had Brock Lesnar poop on Janelle Grant. Yeah. Supposedly. Yeah. Hello, cock.
Speaking of love and cock, the cock he sucked. I'm getting way off the Jehovah's Witness bandwagon. The kissing butt that he did to CM Punk was just off the Richter scale. off the Richter scale, man.
But it was definitely within the rectum scale.
He kissed CM Punk's butt so bad, so much, gave him his own show. He gave the man his own show. He's like, you can't get along with my employees. That's fine. That's fine. I got your own show. You guys can do your own thing over there. And then CM Punk got in a fight with Jack Perry on his show, and it all went down the tube again. And it's just. Then CM Punk told the truth during a press conference. That was great. That was great after he won the World Heavyweight title. He just unloaded on the Young Bucks during a press conference. That was epic, legendary. And while eating, I think he was eating donuts while he did it. It's so great.
Elite. The elite.
The Young Bucks aren't elite about doing anything other than selling T-shirts. They know how to sell a T-shirt. The Young Bucks.
No, they can't undercutting it. They're great self-promoters. Like they know how to get themselves over.
They do.
And you know what? They can do good storytelling. Kid's just not gonna. Kid's never watched Being the Elite like that. He's never watched the New Japan stuff they did. He doesn't know how they can sell a story because since they've joined AEW, they're just gotten lazy.
Being the Elite. Hey,
Being the Elite, they actually.
You can't see me. You can't see me, but the one thing I know from
platform they originally used to sell, to be entertaining and to sell their stories, their storylines.
The one thing I gotta tell you is this.
Super
Cody Rhodes, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Cody Rhodes, doing this ear thing. You can't see me doing this, but he does his ear thing on Being the Elite, where he listens to stuff.
Yeah, because he had super hearing. That was the story.
Yeah, it's great. It was great. That was the story. He had super hearing. He could hear anything, and it was just a great story.
Well, he doesn't have it in WWE, apparently.
He doesn't have it. He lost his super hearing power. Woo!
Now he's just generic babyface number 672.
Generic babyface number 600. 700. I don't even know the number anymore. So, well, I'll tell you what, man. I love Cody. I love Cody. When Cody left AEW, I was like, this is it. It's over. It was before CM Punk left, but it was like, when Cody left, I knew it was over. The whole aura about AEW was over. It was because when AEW got started, it had all the fanfare you can imagine behind it. Everybody wanted AEW to be the next WCW. Everybody wanted it to.
They even got on TNT. I mean, like, dude, Tony Khan was even in bed, maybe not literally, maybe literally, I don't know, with Ted Turner. He even wanted Ted Turner behind it. He wanted Turner on AEW.
Yeah.
And Ted said that he couldn't get his walker down down the ramp to get there.
Ted said, "I'm not giving you the time of day." Is what really happened.
No, he did. He only gave Tony Khan the time of day because of how much money Tony Khan's worth.
No. It is what it is.
But Ted Turner doesn't have the passion or drive because AOL fucked him over so bad. He hasn't had that drive in a long time. Once AOL fucked him over, that was it.
Let's talk about AOL. AOL is where I debuted. I came into the wrestling internet community on AOL forums. I started talking about wrestling on AOL forums. It's where I met. Well, I want to say it's where I met Emma. I'm not sure if I met Emma in the WWF chats or
I'm actually surprised, and I would love to get her on the show. I'm surprised you don't try to locate her. You know enough about her to find her if you wanted to.
I've never tried to find Emma. Would you like to educate the people on who Emma is?
Emma was the girl that with the British accent that was talking in some of Kent's early videos. And if you don't know, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. But Emma was Kent's girlfriend,
my first girlfriend. was on YouTube with me.
She was the camera woman.
She was the camera woman to my first videos. Making my girlfriend my camera woman was a thing I did for years. It became a staple.
And she was very much so behind the scenes ingrained into all of Kent's stuff. Trust me, I know. She had to sell his storylines.
She had so much storyline.
But she was terrible at it because I knew Kent, and she did not. She couldn't do anything but not answer and get Kent's approval on everything.
Okay, so we're talking about.
We're not going to get into we're not going to deep dive into that.
Let's do a quick rundown. So there was Emma, that was my first girlfriend. There was Debbie. Do you remember Debbie from Winston-Salem?
Was that the one that I kept calling her? Have you ever been to Dallas? Yes, that was her. That was the one that I kept asking her if she'd ever been to Dallas, because Debbie does Dallas. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm not explaining it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So there's Debbie. That was the girl I was with.
He forgot about that.
I totally forgot. I forgot almost everything about Debbie. I was way too high to remember any of that. I was definitely in my high age, the highest point in my life. But that was when I lived in Winston-Salem. That's when TNA was 2010 when Jeff Hardy decided to come to.
No, you were living in Dallas at the time, remember? Because Debbie did Dallas.
I was living in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and
in Dallas, Texas, because Debbie did Dallas.
Man. So I was with that. I'm trying to tell you, I recognize everything by time periods of TNA history. That's when Jeff Hardy did his where he got high at Victory Roads, and he came out completely high. What's your thoughts on that?
Jeff Hardy is the true definition of high flyer. He got high and then jumped and then got on the tallest thing in the building and just fell off.
It just fell off. Dude.
He was a high flyer like RVD.
So let me tell you something. One of the controversial things I said over the years was that Jeff Hardy was a pill-popping, raging drug addict. I don't understand why that was controversial. He was a pill-popping, raging drug addict. Tell me why that's controversial, Don.
Because of the fact that because the serious fact is that Jeff Hardy had a serious fucking problem, and you were making fun of it when the man clearly needed help. I was just trying to back to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was a pill-popping, raging drug addict.
Perk Angle.
Exactly. But he did some of the best work of his career. He had to rewatch the matches because he didn't remember any of it. But, this is coming from Kurt Angle. Coming from his mouth.
It's coming from Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle said he couldn't remember his own matches because he was too high on Percocet.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like to be called Perk Angle because he had a serious problem and it was not being addressed because the man was going out there high as fuck, feeling no pain, and putting on the best matches of his entire fucking career for damn near a decade, but it was all aided by Percocet.
So while I was with Debbie from Dallas, no, I'm kidding. While I was with Debbie.
No, she's not from. It's not Debbie from Dallas. It's Debbie did Dallas.
Anyways, that's when I got into my first big legal thing. I beat the living crap out. Let me tell this story real quick. So, I was over at my mom's house, which also lived in Winston-Salem. I lived with Debbie. And son of a gun. I live with Debbie, and she was having a birthday party for one of her sons at her grandmother's house. And I'm just gonna say it, her two drug addict friends were there. They were at the party. While I was gone, they showed up at the party. They were just the worst of the worst kind of people. They were useless. Useless. I don't know how else to put it. They were useless. Debbie asked me if I'd take them home because I was the only person around there with a car. That's how useless everybody was. So I said, yeah, I guess I'll take them home. I didn't want to, but I was like, it's my girlfriend. I got to do what she wants. So I took them home. On the way home, the guy I was with, the guy I was with, I was hearing stuff outside. That's why I paused. I'm in my YouTube studio. But anyways, the guy I was with threw a water bottle through another car's window. He pulled it out of our floorboard and threw it through another car's window. Threw a water bottle through a window. I mean, he threw it as hard as he could throw it. It went through the guy's window. When he did, I was like, "What the hell are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why'd you just do that?" The guy was in a sports car. Hold on, let me explain to you what I'm listening to. I live on Campo. I just live right outside Campo June, North Carolina, and I hear bombing right now. It's like they're rattling our freaking walls. It's bombing so loud. That's why I keep getting distracted. They're bombing so extreme. So Donald Trump has probably set off another freaking war because they're trying to practice for bombing. I'm trying not to get sidetracked, but they are literally bombing so loud it's shaking the freaking walls. So that's what's going on. Don, are you still with me?
Yeah, I was, dude. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. You went on the story.
Okay. It is really loud, bro. But anyways, so he threw the water bottle. He threw the water bottle. It went through his window. I was like, "What is going on? What is going? Why are you doing that?" But the guy had a sports car, and he came up behind me. He started ramming into my back bumper. I was trying to shake him, but I was in a pretty cheap Ford.
Wait. He was pulling up to your back bumper and ramming you?
That's what I just said.
Okay, I'm just making sure I got the details right.
He was ramming me in the butt.
I said bumper. That's what you said. You said bumper. I said butt. He was ramming his car into your bumper.
That's right. That's what he was doing. He was ramming his car into my bumper. So I'm like, they told me to lose him. And I'm like, I can't lose him. I'm in a Ford that's like a really not even it's not like I was in a Mustang. I was in I want to say Ford Fusion, but I don't know if Fusion was around back then.
Hey, I got to insert a segment real quick.
Go for it.
There once were two guys all alone in road rage, and they discovered their cars could do things to each other. Now one's ramming the other. One's ramming the other. Car side of me.
All right, so we're going.
Okay.
So we're going around the block, and I'm like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "What do you want to do?" And the guy's like, "Just drop us off at our house." I'm like, "Okay," but he's gonna jump out of the car and beat the hell out of you. So they jump out of the car. Of course, he pulls up beside us. He pulls in behind me, and he blocks me in. I get out of the car. I'm like, I don't have nothing to do with this. I didn't have nothing to do with him throwing the water ball at you. I'm just trying to de-escalate. And I get over to him. And by the way, I'm big. If none of y'all have ever seen me on video, I'm absolutely massive. I'm a big boy. Anyways,
For all you ladies, he definitely also means between his legs too.
so I'm massive, and I can't even deal with you.
I said for all the ladies.
Anyways, I get to in between them. I stand in between them. I'm like, chill out, y'all need to chill. This is.
I'm massive and I stand in between them.
So I stand in between them and I tell him, y'all gotta knock it off. Well, he starts throwing blows, and I grab his arm and I'm like, chill out, man, chill out.
Hello, little baby.
So he swings at me again. I'm like, don't do that again. I catch his his arm again. I'm like, don't do that again, bro. I said, if you do, it's gonna be lights out for you. That idiot swung at me and he grazed my cheek because I turned my head real quick. He grazed my cheek. I caught him with an elbow right underneath his jaw. It's brushed all the way across his face. It broke his jaw and freaking blacked his eye all at the same time. How you can do that, I don't know, but I did it. I broke his jaw and blacked his eye at the same time.
But that's self-defense, though.
But he was out like a kite. I mean, he was out like a light. And
I thought that was self-defense, though. Just pointing it out. You didn't initiate that.
yeah, I didn't initiate it. But what I did do was immature. When he went to the ground, I just went to Stone Cold Steve Austin, walking in the mud hole, walking it dry. I stomped on him and stomped on him and stomped on him and stomped on him, stomped on him and stomped on him. I was trying to kill him. I mean, real talk.
And that's the bottom line, because Kent Jones said so.
But I was scared. Afterwards, I got scared because I knew I walked him dry. And I ran home to my mom because what else do you do when you get in trouble except go tell mama? so, so I ran home to my mom. I'm like, Mom, I just beat the living crap out of somebody. I think he's dead. I literally told her I thought he's dead. I said, I think he's dead. I think I killed him. I'm skipping part of the story.
Is he a Guerrero?
So I'm running. I call my mom up. I'm skipping this part of the story. I call my mom up. I'm in the bushes. They're spotlighting, looking for me. They're looking for me with spotlights. The police are looking for me, and the lights going through the bushes, and they're looking for me. I call her up, and I say, Mom. I tell her where I am, and she comes picks me up. When I get to her house, um, I say, Mom, I had these boots on. You gotta hide these boots. And she said, put them under your bed. Put them under the bed. So I put them under her bed, and I go back home. So I go back home. I go to Debbie's house. Debbie's house is where my home is. And I put on some tennis shoes because I know that my boots are going to come up because I know my tread was all up and down. My tread marks were in his So I get to the police station, and the guy can't identify me because he's in intensive care, so he can't identify me. But the two guys were like, "Yeah, Kent didn't." They said I took him home, but they told on me, but they didn't tell that I beat on him. They just said that I was there. So I just ran with it, and I was like, "Okay, I was there, but I didn't do anything. All I did was try to get him not to fight." So I got off on zero bond. I bonded out for $0. It's on my mom's home. That my mom.
You got charged with being there?
I got charged. I got charged with nothing. They just wanted me to go to court to figure out what happened. So I had a bond of $0. So they set my bond at $0, and I had to be released. That my mom had to sign paperwork that said I would appear at court, and if I didn't, she would be held liable. And she signed the paperwork. And so we go to court. We go to court, and the he doesn't even. It ends up going to a mediation after we go to court. The reason it goes to court is because this guy was dumb. He was really dumb. When we sit up in the court, the judge asked the plaintiff and the defendant to stand up, and he didn't stand up, but he stood up when it was just the defendant. He stood up at the wrong time, basically. So the judge thought he was on our side, and the judge thought he was on the opposite side of who he was actually representing. So when he said, "Do you want to go to a mediation?" he said yes, because he didn't know what a mediation was. So we got to go to a mediation because he was just that stupid. So we got to go to a mediation. We get to a mediation, and the mediator asks, "What do you want to happen here?" And the first thing he says is, "I want to get that paper, man. I got the crap beat out of me. I need some money. I need a payday." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" I said, "I knew that's what it was about anyway." And he said, I said, "How much money are we talking?" He said, "I don't know, man. I don't know." Like it was a big deal too. Like I'm serious. He goes, "I need $100." I'm thinking to myself, $100? $100? I'm facing 14 months in prison. Hell yeah, I'll give you $100. So he said, "I want $100 from each of you." I said, "I got you," because I know that those useless bats didn't have money. I said, I got you guys. I'm gonna pay $100. I wanted it over with. And the mediator said, "When this is over, you can't come back because it's double jeopardy. Once you agree to this, that's what you agree to. You cannot bring these charges back up. Do you agree?" And he said yes, $100. So I gave him $300. I walked away from facing 14 months in prison, 14 months, a minimum of 14 months in prison, to paying $300. That's how I got out of that. I paid $300. because he was a fucking idiot and he agreed to it.
Well, he wasn't an idiot. He just wanted money, and he didn't give. That's all it was about. Was he was just trying to get sued. He was going to try to sue you for money.
Yeah, $300 measly.
He was in the wrong court.
Well, that's the story of one story that I have for y'all with the girl from Winston-Salem. I'm not going to tell you any more stories, but I do want to talk about the other girls. So there was obviously shit. What's going on?
No. You go ahead.
So Shay did my cop watching.
Let's talk about Shay in a whole different show because that way we could do a whole show around.
Okay, we can do that. So we're just gonna say that Shay was the next girl, and then
And I think this is a good place to stop because it's that's a lot of info dump. That was a big part of your life.
Well, hold on.
And
Before maybe we can do this on. This can be another show. I'm just gonna say it. I know you're probably gonna be like, "Don't bring that up." All I'm gonna say is the M word. Should I bring up the M word?
No.
Don't bring up the M word.
No.
Okay, I won't do it. But I think that's a show.
How many videos you've already made about it?
Yeah, I've already made a lot of words about it. So their next show will be about the Shay. We won't bring up the M word. And I thought that could be its own show. That's the only reason I was going to bring it up. But you're right.
And we'll talk about the K
We
word
beat that
on
to
a
death.
later date.
I beat that to death, didn't I? I've already beat that one to death.
Yeah, okay. And you need to take them down. But fuck it. You need to. We're good here. We're going to call it a show. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for doing. As always, we appreciate y'all. Please like, share, subscribe. Send it to your friends. Send it to your homeboys. Send it to the frat party guys that you're out with. And I want to make a special shout out to.
Can we go an hour? Can we go an hour? We've been on the air for 51 minutes.
I want to make a special shout out to Clayton. At Texas A&M. Clayton. I want to make this a fully known thing. I have proof that you Ruthie girls. Keep it up. Keep it up, motherfucker. Your ass is going down. Nobody's wanting to turn your ass in because your frat brothers got you. But I know you. I got you.
I hear you. I don't know what you're talking about, but I hear you.
There is a guy in a fraternity. It's a very new fraternity at Texas A&M University in College Station, Texas. And one of the brothers, his name is Clayton. Clayton. Remember that? Clayton. Clayton, to you, brother. You're in the fraternity. I ain't dropping the fraternity name because there could be some litigation with that. So just drop it a name, just what fraternity he's in. Clayton is known to emotionally abuse his girlfriends, and it is a known fact that he Ruthie's girls. That's still going on today. So let's bring it to YouTube. Let's bring some social justice, motherfuckers. Y'all love that term. Let's do it. And I want.
I love the controversy, baby. I love the controversy.
And you know what? Since I want the backing of Jehovah on my side with this, because this man is committing several heinous sins, and it's big.
Don, are you still there? I lost you.
I'm here. This man is committing rape.
I get it.
And you know what? Anybody who's supporting him to cover it up, because that's a thing, it hasn't been reported to the police. It hasn't been reported to the university. I want this to blow up. Controversy.
We're at 53 minutes. Yeah.
Controversy creates consequences.
We're at 54 minutes, by the way.
I want to bring this up to y'all. I'm not going to say how I know. I'm not going to say my sources. They want to remain anonymous at the moment. But I want justice done. This man is a fucking rapist. He's a known rapist. Several people know it, but do nothing. So here I am on YouTube, on a platform. And I want you folks, I gave enough details, didn't drop anything so no kind of legality or things can be said. This is not character deprivation. This is not character deprivation. I need all of you who are listening to look this man up, figure out the pieces that I can't share on the air. And I want all the girls that are victims to come forward. This is a petition for you to take this man down. Because people in his own fraternity literally want him dead.
And I do you one better. I'm going to advertise my company at the end of this video. I'll advertise my personal junk removal company, but it's also my personal phone number. So if you want to send me a text message and give me any details
you don't give that out on the air, bro. Don't do that. That's your personal phone number.
It is. No. It's for my company. I use it all the time.
Yes, locally. Don't give out your phone number on the air. Give out your email, business email.
Okay, I'll do that. So I don't know why I can't do it. I've already gave out my phone number before, but I won't do it if you don't.
You shouldn't have been doing that. That's too much information over the air.
All right, Kent's junk removal and relocation of furniture. We remove pianos, mattresses, indoor furniture, outdoor furniture, etc. You can reach us at Kent, Kent, Jones, Jones, .jw at gmail.com. Again, that's kentjones.jw at gmail.com. You can reach me. What?
I want to close the show with one more thing. I'm going to do my own fucking ad because I want to. It's not really an ad. It's just it's an advert. So here we go. Everybody here who's listening, I want to say some final closing thoughts, if you will. I want to say thank you for Jehovah for supporting my brother, and thank you for guiding him to the light. I do want to announce, Kent probably hasn't said this by the time this goes out. It'll already be announced because this is an add-on to it. I support my friend in his journey to be baptized under the light of Jehovah. And I also want to give a special shout out to Kingdom Hall and all of its members. Thank you for just being you and being wonderful and great people and being understanding and love and just bringing the spiritual growth to everyone around you. And I want to give another special shout out to all of my people over on X on Real Hard Knocks, because you guys make the dream work. And lastly, I want to say fuck you, Clayton.
Clayton, you got to go down, man. You got to go down, Clayton.
No, this is some real shit. This was some shit that I wasn't going to bring up because it had nothing to do with the show. But I just felt the need. I felt the need to bring it up. And the most important thing that you all need to know is that it's my closing thoughts, and this is where he's going to end the stream. Remember, everybody, in life, you just have to be you. You can't be anybody else.
That's right. That's right.
You have to be real to yourself.
Authentic.
Yes, you have to. You have to find whether it's spiritual, man. Everybody has to reach out to somebody.
Can I touch in before you close? Can I touch in with one statement?
Kent, had Jehovah had the congregation to guide him. And I want to say that goes with the Clayton too. There's a lot of women that need a hand too. I don't want to hear about any suicides over this. And people like this that have been doing it, they escalate. They don't get better.
Can I touch on something though?
Same thing.
Before you close.
Remember, everybody.
Before you close, I want to comment.
You can't stay golden because either you are or you aren't in the stream.
Before you close, I want to say this.
You got to get the last word in, don't you?
No, I don't. I'll throw it back to you. If you're watching this for the first time, the video is long by nature because I want watch time. I need watch time to get monetized. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to beat around the bush. I want watch time because I need it. But I want to tell you something. I am a genuine person. Everything you get from me is genuine. I'm authentic. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've made a lot of mistakes. And I have a lot of regrets for a lot of stupid stuff I did, like mooning the camera and stuff of that nature. But what I come from and where I become and what I become has changed throughout the years. And I truly, truly am telling you from the bottom of my heart. You can be anything you want to be. You can achieve anything you want to achieve. You can reach any standard you want. If you want to be president of the United States, you can be president of the United States. You can do anything you want to do. All you got to do is set your mind to it and work hard enough, and you will achieve it. All right, Don, go ahead. Just back to you.
If you believe, you will achieve. That's what he's trying to say.
That's right.
And the most important thing is, it wasn't Winston-Salem. It was Debbie Does Dallas. Debbie was in Dallas. He was in Dallas. She was doing Dallas. All Dallas. And you'll hear more about it on the next show and how that ended. Her doing Dallas.
That's a wrap, y'all.